Good afternoon. In hopefully 5 minutes, and not too many seconds over, I am going to attempt to translate Yah Come Yah to you. Yah Come Yah, Yah and Come Yah are two phrases in a language from where my parents are from. Well, St. Helens, they're from St. Helens Island in South Carolina. They're from the Sea Islands in South Carolina. So they speak a different language than me. Pretty much I'm a city girl, born in Brooklyn, New York, raised between New York and Pennsylvania, and I have memories of my youth being dragged down to South Carolina. There's a poem that says, beautiful Beaufort, down by the sea, 26 miles from Yamasee. Yamasee, Yamasee. That's what the first thing I remember, the train conductor saying when we arrived at our stop from New York to Yamasee, South Carolina. And there was usually some male relative there, well over 6 feet tall, there to greet us. And at that point, 26 miles plus the additional 15 miles across the bridge to the island, I fell deeper into my dread, because at that point I did not understand a word that my parents, my uncles, relatives, my older sister, what they said made no sense to me. I speculated during a portion of my speech in Gullah, and finding out on what day did we get the email that I was speaking today. I called my mother last night and said, Mom, I want to learn how to say something in Gullah. So she laughed. It's like, you've got, no, it's not going to happen. Call your cousin or your sister. Like, okay. So I called my cousin Naomi. Naomi, taking this Toastmasters, going through Toastmasters, and I want to do something in Gullah, about Gullah. What? So we chit-chatted a bit, and I decided, okay, let me just practice on her. Slipped into a little Gullah. She just stopped speaking and said, cousin, please don't. I was like, don't? I said, but, you know, please don't. Just don't. She said, your rhythm and your pitch completely off. You know, she said, way off. And basically she said, una ain't no gal. I butchered it. I know I butchered it. But basically she said, you don't know, girl. I understand it a lot better as an adult, the language, but just speaking it, Donna Cunningham, that means I'm a come here. I wasn't born there, I wasn't raised there. I was in it, but not of it. I came there. So with that said, I'll go I ain't know and move forward and give you a brief history on Gullah. The Gullah language has its own unique rhythm and cadence. Slaves from the Sea Island of South Carolina and northern Georgia were brought to America largely from different communities of the rice coast of West Africa. I am 6th generation from that portion of the world. Many of the slaves brought to that area spoke similar languages, but in order to understand themselves, to make a common language and to communicate to the masters, they combined the various dialects with the English words that they were hearing. Gullah is still spoken by some African Americans throughout the Sea Islands of South Carolina, Georgia, and northern Florida. A research was done of African language conducted in 1940 by African American linguist Lorenzo Turner, who noted the similarities between Gullah and the languages spoken in West Africa. The use of nouns, pronouns, verbs, and tense. Almost all Gullah nouns are singular, and no distinction is made between singular or plural verbs either. These characteristics are the same in many African languages. Also, Gullah and various African languages rarely account for when something actually happened, The present verb tense is also often used to refer to the past. Thank you, green light. I gave you una, which means you, singular. De, de, means to be. Those are all the examples I'm going to give you. But Gullah is also a lifestyle. Low country, my husband's family is from upper state South Carolina. They call us low country. African Americans, it's a lifestyle also. There's distinctive arts and crafts. My favorite artist, Jonathan Green, pass that around, is from that area as well. And his paintings also reflect his memories of being raised in low country. Fish fries are common things, and oyster bakes with the local fish and shellfish, most of which I'm allergic to, come from that area. St. Helena's Island is a romantic place in the Sea Island, settled by hardy people, and I'm proud to be related to some of them. And when I travel down there to the island, I know that I'm close. If I'm in a dead sleep in the car, I know by the change in the smell in the air, and I wake up immediately. And I now appreciate those days, but it was an interesting form of torture for me when I was growing up because I spoke proper. And they used to tease us quite a bit. The Gullah dialect spoken by my people there was in many ways a foreign language to me, in and of itself. Speaking the language may define me as a Yah Come Yah, but my lifestyle makes me a Ben Yah.
Oh.